Hey, this is Mark Walton for GameSpot at Gamescom 2014. I'm here with Cameron Robinson, and we have just seen Bloodborne.
We have.
Combat. Tell me about this combat.
Okay, so that's basically what they were showing mainly was they were like, hey, we want to show you what's new in the gameplay, what's different from the games they made before, like Dark Souls and Demon Souls. So the big takeaway I had anyway, is it looks quite a bit faster. And although they were keen to stress that it's still going to be really difficult, you're still going to die a lot, it does look like they've toned down some of the punishing aspects of those games like Dark Souls and Demon Souls. The coolest thing I thought though was the weapons. So you've now got these transformable weapons, which is quite cool. So you've got like a cleaver thing, which you can then hit a button and it goes much longer, so your attacks are more powerful and you can use that to like knock people back. Or you've got this like one-handed axe, which then transforms into a two-handed axe, and it just enables you to mix up your strategic combat, and it is all still a bit of strategy though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, the idea behind these weapons was that you're able to use them in really different ways and figure out the way you want to play, as it were. But yeah, I mean, it's very cool, and it all ties into basically what is the new mechanic for this game is the regain system. And the idea behind this is that you have, when you attack an enemy, there's a little yellow bar that appears on the screen. And if you get hit at any point by that enemy, you have, by the time before that yellow bar disappears, you have to hit them and then you get the health back.
It basically encourages you to react with combat rather than backing away.
Exactly.
Basically. So trying to make it a bit more, not frantic, but just a bit more like exchanging hits rather than hit in, run away, that type of idea. So if you do take a hit, it pays to deal damage back, basically.
Absolutely, and you don't have to hit the enemy that hit you, you can hit anyone.
Anyone around you.
You know, they were keen to stress about this, that they don't want this to be regarded as a frantic hack and slash game.
And it doesn't look that way.
There is a little bit more of that in there, but it's definitely not like going to be like off the wall crazy like the sort of like DMC or those sort of games. It's still very much got that sort of Dark Souls vibe to it, and it's really dark, and the graphics are beautiful as well.
It's all like blues and blacks and little bits of orange, and it looks gorgeous, and the clothes all kind of ripple in the wind, and it's really atmospheric. And it does have I think for me the big difference is a lot more horror like influence in this game, which is cool. And like the audio is really quite scary at times. There's these. Well, we watched this one bit of gameplay where they entered into this like graveyard and there's all these old women monsters like lurking around, and they were pretty terrifying.
They were terrifying, and the thing about that was they're keen to point out was that there's a different strategy for every enemy, and everyone has a different weakness. So in terms of the old ladies, they were saying because they're old and a little bit flaky nowadays, you can actually roll into them. What that does is destabilize them because their bones are weak, and that gives you an opportunity to attack. And that's just one example of that, but there are many more. And the other thing that they did in the game was change the HUD as well, which to make it more accessible. So this sort of ties into, it's still difficult, but a little bit easier to get to grips with. So now health is a constant, you basically hit triangle and you've always got your health boost rather than having to select it as an item and map it to your items thing. And then you've got, that means you're free to experiment with some of the other items more, like you had, what was it, you could throw oil
and then follow up with a Molotov cocktail, which would deal extra damage. So if you've got alarm bells ringing thinking, oh, this sounds like they've nerfed Dark Souls or things like that, I don't think it is that way, because you've got a lot of strategy options, it looks like, in the items and in your changeable weapons, and in the fact that every enemy has like a specific weakness. So there still looks to be lots of strategy in the combat.
Yeah, I mean, the game's looking great, and it's actually playable on the Gamescom show floor, so I think we're going to go check it out later this week, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you more. But for now, keep it GameSpot.